Hestu, the booty-shaking turnip cauliflower, has returned in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. You're going to need to find a bunch of the Korok seeds if you want to go ahead and increase how many weapons you can hold and shields. So first after the tutorial is showing you where he is on the map, so you can go ahead and get some of them increases, as well as along the way some stables and the first maybe mini boss. Then all 19 Korok locations on the starter islands in the tutorial zone. Let's go. If you find this video useful, do leave a like and check out the rest of the guides. So starting with Hestu first, in case you're not that bothered about missing one or two. Of course, there's lots of Korok seeds you'll find across the whole world, but yeah, the starter zone is the easiest way to get loads. So once you've got onto Hyrule, you need to head over to the northwest corner of the map. The story pretty much takes you this way anyway, but of course you are free to explore and go to many of the other towns and explore the world, but it's definitely recommended that you go this way. If this is all looking something you haven't done yet in terms of getting the glider, well, as soon as you've landed in Hyrule, you head over to the castle, go through the story quests, and eventually you'll be told to go northwest. Make sure you activate the shrines as you go, like the Ishidag, so you can teleport fast travel here in case you die. And of course, extra free tip, you don't need to complete these straight away, you can come back to them. So if you directly follow that road, you can see it on the minimap there, you'll come across the Korok Bridge well. Inside you'll find some gourds, as well as a note from an aspiring chef that maybe tried to live down here. The thing you're going to have to deal with is Hinox guarding the bridge. Now he is pretty tough, especially if you're quite low level. You can see my weapons aren't doing that amazing amount of damage, but if you aim for his eye a little bit more, you've got more chance of stunning him, and then you can go and wait on him a little bit. Equally, you could just hot foot it and run directly right past him and come back and face him when you're a bit stronger. One of these special moves will pretty much take you out in one hit if you've only got 4 hearts. I mention him though because he is one of the main guardian points between you and obviously the next area. Now you'll come to the part of the map where it's not starting to show stuff, so you just got to visually keep looking towards the tower that you see in the distance, and you'll come across the input and the geoglyphs quest, as well as maybe your first stables. There's some horses around here if you want to mess around with that and do the actual imp quest where you basically go to a glyph. But keep heading up again, keeping that tower in your sights, and you'll eventually find Hestu, who's been bothered by some of these trees. You'll have to pretty much go over to the trees and just kill them. And there you go, that is Hestu found. It may be seemingly difficult without a proper map location, but trust me, as long as you go into the northwest and you're following where it tells you to go, you'll pretty much be guided along the way. So you can't really miss it, but you never know. You may have gone in a completely different direction and been really frustrated that you can't get more slots for stuff. By the stables, if you complete that imp quest and find another tier, it'll also pretty much take you to another one of these guys, and that's why I've got 20. But there's actually 19 that you can find in the first tutorial area. It is really worth going back once you get the glider to the starter zone and then collecting the rest that you may have missed. You don't necessarily have to spend all your time in the starter zone getting them. Once you've upgraded a couple times with Hestu, he'll tell you he's going back to Land's Landing, and that's where you'll find him permanently. So don't worry if he's run away before you can upgrade anymore, this is where he'll be in future. So undoubtedly it is easier if you've got the glider to find the rest of these. You may have come across a few of them naturally, I'm sure. But I've seen so many guides with basically half info where they're listing only maybe 12 of them, 16 of them, and not the full 19. But you can tell this is the very first stages of the game, as I'm still exploring the first kind of big major island. Around the ruins towards the south of the actual map, you'll come across this tree, and you should notice a small little glyph or flower hiding and moving around on the walls every time you get close to it. Chase it around, and that's going to be probably your first Korok. So directly to the south, just literally under the wording of the Great Sky Island, that's where you'll find the square ruins. If you follow the islands to the right hand side, i.e. the west when looking at the map, you should have come across to this spot here, and you're going to be making a contraption to get down the big wire. You'll come across this guy, and he's going to give you actually 2 Korok seeds if you return him to his friend. So you'll need the first ability, obviously. Go ahead and attach 3 logs together and then go and put the hook on it. Attach your Korok friend and then lift it and place it on the actual cable. Make sure that you jump on as well, as it will go pretty quickly once it gets going. Simply dismantle it or wiggle the Korok off and hand him over to his friend. Here it is on the map once more. You can clearly see it's on the little island with the line going over. This is only one of 2 locations where you'll get 2 Korok seeds for helping one out. I completed the tutorial area by going anti-clockwise, finishing all of the shrines along the way, and that pretty much guided me and showed that I was going following Ruru. You get to this point where you've got to build maybe your first contraption to get across water, and this is also where another Korok seed is. Follow the stairs up and you'll notice some strange rocks in the floor. You'll need something pretty hard to hit them. I recommend transforming a weapon with a rock on the end to then go ahead and smash it. And luckily there is a rock nearby. Give it a good whack and you'll be dropped down into another hole with some mushrooms and this thing that you need to shoot. You'll also find some zonai charges here as well, and then just obviously make sure you've got at least an arrow so you could go ahead and shoot the little target. There it is on the map, and yeah, let's get it. It's not challenging at all, and that's it, another Korok. Once you've gone through the mine and you keep going in that direction, you'll eventually get to the higher plateaus just before the snow mountains, and another one that needs to be reunited. It's a simple case of putting a minecart on the tracks and a fan behind it. Again, you can't really miss this spot as it's right next to one of the gacha machines too. Here it is right on the south of the map. You can see the sign in for the gacha machine too. And that's the last of the double bubble. Sticking in that same area, again where the gacha machine is, you find some stairs that lead to the edge and you can see the tree across the chasm. Now I went and grabbed this and carried it all the way down the stairs from somewhere near the gacha machine. But obviously with your glider, you should be able to just glide across. I think you're meant to do this if you've gone the anti-clockwise route when you first learn about crossing the water with your powered raft. But I did this as part of my first attempt through the actual tutorial, and I ended up just lowering it and then jumping on and pretty much not dying. Anywho, climb the stump and inside you'll find some leaves that you'll need to set alight, just using maybe a fire fruit that hopefully you've gathered. You then just need to lift the rock and there you go. Next one, I recommend teleport into the Nacho Ya shrine once you've completed all the tutorial area and you can fast travel. You then head outside and you pretty much need to climb the back of this and get all the way to the top. There's another small area to explore as well as a chest, but there will be a large stump here and this is where the next one is. Jump on the lily pad and that's it. Here it is on the map just to be triple sure. Next, go ahead and teleport to the Room of Awakening. Go into this small room here. I think this might have even been one of the spots that you actually come up with, but either way, underneath the tree boughs and the branches you'll find another Korok. So yeah, best off doing this once you've got the teleport ability to go back here. This next one, you can either use these to fly down or go ahead and use your glider, but pretty much you'll be spawning at the Great Room of Awakening and then pretty much doing a jump down. We have to land on one of these islands. It's the slightly larger one, so make sure you do go to it with the large lake. If you're right over the water, you can of course just jump off and go ahead and dive in. You see that small circle of lily pads? That's where you need to jump or dive into and you get the Korok. Now you don't have to do another jump and glide from the Room of Awakening for this one, but I did just find it quite easy to do it this way. We're going to be going to the snow region just on the edges here, next to the big flat circle that you can see on the mini-map. It's not challenging at all, just rotate it like I'm showing you and there you go. Another Korok. And here it is on the map, just in case you're doing it from the ground. This next one, you want to spawn at the Inner Shrine. It's on the western side of the map. Once again, go ahead and climb the cliffs so that you can get to the top. And there's another tree to climb. Go ahead and lift the rock and there you go, another Korok. This next one I'm going to guide you all the way up because it's easier doing it this way. You'll pretty much come to this location on the eastern side of the map. As you're just about to start going up to the snow area, you can see the massive archway and we're going to be going into that cave. It's very close to the gacha machine and the Koroks that we helped reunite by climbing over the big wire. So go ahead and climb all through the pit cave and look out for some secrets in here as well. There should be one of them glowing frogs somewhere in here. When you get to the entrance out of it, just keep climbing the rocks right by the cave or above it. Give the strange flower a whack and catch the seed and there you go. Sticking with the cold zone, if you actually hang glide all the way down or go to the kind of water side, that you may have come this way if you went clockwise instead of anti-clockwise, up some stairs onto the right, you'll find another small puzzle. Just showing you a little bit of where or exactly where to go. You can see the waterfall blocking it off, and there should be some stuff that you can already just hit a boat and it'll take you over. You don't actually need to make one. You cannot get any simpler puzzle. Just simply slot the Tetris piece in and you're done. Here it is on the map. Just here you can see next to the Guttenbach Shrine. That might be your best bet to go to or go to afterwards. The shrine in the snow area, where you eventually will climb onto the oak branch piece and hopefully find the warm leggings that are an absolute essential must just inside the hollow dirt trunk. Well, actually don't forget to climb the trunk as well. You'll notice a ring of rocks. Simply place the rock next to it to complete it, and there you go. Here it is on the map. Next, go to the Uka Shrine. This is pretty much one of the starting ones that you might have done. And we're actually heading underneath the Temple of Time. There's going to be a pillar missing, which you'll be able to go ahead and get the next one. So you can see the section missing there. Fly or hover over to it or swim. You then go ahead and use the Ascend ability, and there you go, you should trigger it. Once you pop out the top, the Korok will spawn. Back to that same shrine, teleport again. This time we're going to jump, hover off, and we're going to go to the western side. In the rock on the water, you will then find that you can lift it, and there you go. Again, I found it easier doing it this way for this next one. Spawn again on the Nacho-Ya Shrine. Head to the edge and then just jump off, and we're going to be aiming pretty much just below us. If you're going from another direction, here it is on the map. And it's very similar. Again, you'll find a bunch of rocks around a tree, find the rock that's close by, and another Korok. And we're nearly done. We're going to be heading all the way up to the north again near the Time Temple. I just found this one pretty easy with obviously the glider. Head all the way over to these ruined pillars, and fluttering around there you should find a Korok seed running about. If you want to see my adventures daily, I'm live streaming 100 days of Tears of the Kingdom on my 100 Days YouTube channel and Twitch. So go and check them both out. You'll find the links in the description box. Until then, laters.